Swahili.
We're live. There you go. We gotta go. Yeah, you can just, wherever you want to hold it.
My name is Leonard, but I go by DJ Leo Neo. I do a lot of things. I'm a software engineer. I'm a DJ, and I'm the founder of AfroCharts, which is the Afrobeats music streaming app. That's very New York. So if you're in Afrobeats, AfroCharts, you can access music from all over Africa. As a DJ, I host Afrobeats events around Milwaukee. So if you have seen my promotion, Afrofusion, that's my party. And last year, I was able to bring the first Afrobeats show to some of it. This year, that was me.
We were there.
You were there?
Yes.
I was like, where did I see you? I saw you in my video. But this year, it's gonna be even bigger. It's gonna be bigger. We are bringing the first Afrobeats headliner to the festival. Some of it.
That's great.
Oh, the design from here? Yeah. I'll have to connect with them.
He's not acting, he's just DJing.
Okay, so I'll just connect with them. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something. Yeah, so July 3rd, that's where the show is gonna be. And then the artist is Ayara Star. She's from Nigeria. She does some really cool Afrobeat songs. What I need everybody to spread the word. The first Afrobeat artist.
You need marketing.
Marketing, so we want everybody to come, as many people as we can to the festival. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we got 2 more. And anybody else who I missed, let me know.
Let me get your mic. So, just so we can show you. It's not gonna make it louder in here, but for the video, they can hear you a little bit better. Just talking to that, she's recording.
You bet. Hi. Hi, everyone. Chandra Williams here, CEO of, can you hear me? Is this good? CEO of Breast Cancer Models. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and our mission is to turn breast cancer survivors into fashion models. Not just fashion models, role models in the community. And we do that through art, runway, fashion, storytelling. We have an event coming up on October 25th at the Wisconsin African American Women's Center on Valete Street. I believe the address is 3020 West Valete Street. We also have a model call coming up for survivors only. This model call is May 24th. That's just in a few days here. And we are looking for survivors to come tell their story, be celebrated, because we're actually celebrating their life. And myself, as a survivor, I do know the struggle of getting back out there into the community, getting dressed again, coming out of your darkness, coming out of your deepest, whatever, have-nots, have-dos. It's a struggle, and it's a story. And so for that, we want to celebrate these women because, let's face it, the only time you hear about breast cancer is usually like between 4 walls and someone's telling their story, but that's not enough. So I've decided that we should be celebrated as women, as men, because men get breast cancer. And we do that through different types of initiatives, and one of those is our shock housing program. And shock because it was a shock to me to be turned away, not receive the help I need, and to just go through my struggle. So it was a shock to me to have those things, to be too young to receive help from the state of Wisconsin, because you have to be 35 to 40, or had to be around 2008. Well, I was 32. So that didn't work for me. So with that being said, because of the shock and because of being homeless and uninsured, I decided that's what we need. That's the answer. SHOCK standing for Survivors House of Champions.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I am looking for marketing, volunteers, hair and makeup, and you can reach me right over here to get more information. Thank you so much.
Volunteers. Look at that. Drop the mic on you. That means you did the doggone thing. Okay, we have this little microphone and we're doing social media posts. So when you're talking, you can look in this direction because they're going to hit you on the camera.
Hi, my name is Shirley Arbery, and I'm an employee for Ascension. I work in the plastic surgery department. This is all natural, though. I am a breast cancer survivor. I do my storytelling with Chandra, so I'm actually looking into getting some more exposure for myself in that area. I also have my business is S. Mason Enterprise. That's an LLC, so it's in real estate. What I need help in is business coaching and business credit.
Thank you. So business credit will be Will, right here. And business coaching, who said they're a coach? Somebody else said they're a coach? She's over there at the end of the, okay? And then also you have the Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce president, and he's an excellent coach. Okay, great. With no further ado, please. Tariano, come tell us who you are.
I'm a coach.
This is the dog whisperer. How many people know what a dog whisperer is? He can tame any dogs. He does dog training for lots of celebrities. And tell us who you are, what you do, and what you need.
Is this a little mic?
Yes, and talking to the mic and look over there, right there, where Pamela is.
My name's Toriano Sanzoni. As the fabulous princess said, I'm third generation dog trainer. My family's been training dogs in Chicago since we've been in the same home since 1948. So that's our core business. Well, now what we do after training dogs for the last 25 years, we help with marketing. We do a lot of marketing in the pet segment. I've talked to a few people here today about marketing for their businesses. So everything from website development to app development to basically figuring out, if you gave me an equation of like what you do as a business, I can help you properly position your business to make money using social media. So you can go to my website, Ayaverse, AYA-verse, .co, like Charlie Oprah. That's what we do. But yeah, and then we also, the pet segment is just part of that. I tell people I will always be a part of the pet industry. It's the only industry that is recession proof. The pet industry, when we started 25 years ago, was a $10 billion industry. Now it's a $150 billion industry. It's the only industry that no matter what's going on in the world, COVID, dog sales went up 300%, right? People are happy, they're sad, they go get a dog no matter what. So I encourage people to always, have their foot in the pet industry as a source of income no matter what. What I need, Princess, is part of why I'm down here, because Princess said that she was coming down here for this first Friday. We've been coming down here from Chicago for the last couple weekends because in this great city of Milwaukee, we want to put a dog training facility for returning citizens. So we have a program called Mixed Up Mutts where we train returning citizens how to train a dog. We did this program before in Westville State Prison in Indiana, and it worked fabulous. A stat that a lot of people don't know is that 30% of our prison population are U.S. veterans. So we're very specific where we train U.S. veterans that have been incarcerated how to train dogs to keep them from re-entering into the prison pipeline. Why Milwaukee? Because Milwaukee, unfortunately, has the third highest rate of reincarceration for returning citizens, because you guys had a law that was passed by both your governors called true sentencing, that if you were incarcerated, you were going to serve all your time. So unfortunately, Wisconsin has the third highest population in our country. So that, and aside from the fact that, a lot right now of your property is a lot more affordable than Chicago or any other place, that we foresee seeing something like this, which would be a place where the citizens would come, they would learn how to train dogs, and then they would go to the Humane Society and then train those dogs for veterans suffering from PTSD, because we're able to sit here today because of the men and women that fight for our freedom. Any veterans in the house, or family veterans, or family of veterans? No? So, Yes, I'm from a veteran family. I like to tell people freedom's not free at all. It comes with a high cost. Today and every day, 20 veterans are going to lose their lives. So part of what we're doing is to train these men, to train these dogs that are being destroyed so that a veteran can get a dog, because the VA hospital will only supply 100 dogs for the entire country. So if you want a dog through the VA, it is literally astronomically impossible to get a service dog. And a service dog goes for how much? How much do you think a service dog is? $250,000? $250. No. A service dog goes for approximately $65,000. So, and it takes about 2 years to train a service dog. So when we say a service dog, like a dog that would be trained to pick up a pin, to open up a refrigerator, to help someone that has PTSD. So our theory is that we would train these men to train these dogs, because right now the U.S. Destroys 850 animals every day, right? We have one of the highest euthanation rates in the entire country. So, and also too, while we're on this, giving you stats, our veterinarian industry has the highest suicide rate in the entire country. So this is a big deal, because we're right now on the preface of having an epidemic across the country, because if there's not enough veterans, if there's not enough veterinarians, then you're gonna have rabies in major cities. So that's what's happening in Chicago right now. You're seeing a lot of stray dogs floating around. So what we wanna do is take those stray dogs, turn them into service dogs, and get them to veterans. So how you all can help, we're looking for commercial real estate right now, and we're looking for, boom, like we've talked already, where she's helping me find some space. And we're looking for funding too, because it costs us $15,000 per person to train them to become a professional dog trainer. So,
How long does that take?
great question. It takes approximately 4 to 5 months, 5 months max, to have a person completely trained to become a dog trainer.
And the dog?
The dog,
2 years?
yes, it takes 2 years to train a service dog for one of the veterans.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, now yes. That was a wealth of information. With no further ado, does everybody have their papers in front of them? And their pen? Everybody has a working pen. Get ready to learn from a fabulous master. When we started the National Executives Network, Romeo Potts and his team helped us put together our social media, along with helping us brand it and putting together our link tree and all kinds of amazing advice that he gave us. So please, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce you to
Yeah, man.
Romeo Potts. And this microphone is for anybody who has a question. Romeo.
So hi everybody. I know we don't have an actual microphone, but I promise it'll be recorded. It'll sound great. Now, I heard that there's a couple marketing people in the room. I'm glad that you guys are here, actually, because you guys can add to what I say when I say that AI is not going anywhere, honestly. So similar to when, robots started taking over manufacturing jobs, you kind of just have to embrace it, right, and prepare on how to work with AI. So anyways, real quick background story on me and why I'm even worth listening to. I've been in marketing for about 7 years, and 7 years ago, I started off just designing websites. I was also fully transparent. I didn't go to college for anything. So I learned everything from scratch, and I'm fortunate enough to have the opportunity to have, since 7 years ago, work with small businesses, work with doctors, and even help running political campaigns. So I can get people customers, I can get people patients, I can also get people votes. So basically, this whole idea and everything of this came together because obviously Princess know that AI is out there. I'm in the marketing world. We started talking about how these things are being used every day. And obviously, since I have a lot of marketing background, with the way I use AI, it might be a little bit more aggressive than how somebody might use AI if they started using it today. So in our previous presentation, we talked about the basics, like what AI is out there and how you can use it for video and music and images. And that presentation was a little bit more intro. In this case, I want to get into a little bit more about the marketing side and how you add that to your AI. So some of the important things to understand is you need to really understand your brand. You really need to understand your audience. And without those things, you're going to get a lot of generic answers. A lot of people will go to AI and they'll say, give me 5 social media ideas, or give me a homepage layout or homepage outline, right? Without actually understanding their audience and understanding their brand. So that's a common mistake that a lot of people make, and that's why they get a lot of generic answers and AI doesn't actually work for them. So to start off with, I want to talk a little bit about how to make stronger AI prompts. First thing I'm going to tell you right now, if your prompt is not longer than 5 sentences or maybe a paragraph or 2 paragraphs, you're going to get a very, very generic answer. I see it all the time. I can even spot when people are using AI because it sounds so similar to what someone else already used. The worst thing that you could do as a person or professional and somebody who's trying to promote your business is make it obvious that you're using AI. If you're brand new and you're using AI, it almost looks like you just made it all up. So I definitely have advice for you guys. If you're a brand new business, make sure you don't look like you're using AI. 2, you don't know how to tell the AI on how to act. If you don't tell the AI that you want it to act like a social media manager, or you want it to act like an HR specialist, and you want it to have a certain amount of years or experience, and you want it to have a certain kind of attitude, it's going to sound very much like what other people already use. And considering that Google is still the most powerful search engine, you have to understand that when you use a lot of generic stuff, you're never going to rank. You're never going to show up on Google because there's thousands, if not millions of other blog posts out there or websites that say the same exact thing because someone else had your idea. Really, in a world of AI and marketing, you have to really set yourself apart, and you have to know that you're not for everybody. In fact, one of the things I can give you as advice running a marketing company, when I meet with somebody and we do a discovery call or we do a consultation, one of the most important questions I ask them is, who's your target audience or who are you trying to reach? When they say everyone, I double the price because it means that you don't know your own audience. They haven't taken the time to get feedback. They haven't done the analysis of which of their products sells, right? They don't yet understand their audience. So that means it's more work for me. And actually, more work for the AI, or you're going to get a generic answer. So that's something that's really important too. I really want you to pay attention to that. Another thing that people don't understand really is branding. A lot of people think that branding just means your color, your logo, and everything matches. Your brand is at the bottom of the list of things that actually matter. What matters is how you talk, how you present your brand, how you position yourself, right? What makes you a little bit different, right? In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do right away in your marketing, and especially with AI, is realize that not everybody's your customer and turn people away. There are certain people that I think that we've all realized that we work with that we don't like to work with. It's important to tell AI that too. I don't like to work with these kinds of people. I don't want to attract these kinds of people. Going back to the target profile or target audience. So now again, to kind of touch back on branding a little bit, some of the important things that are necessary when you talk to the AI and ask it for questions is to give it a tone. Tell it, I want to sound approachable, or I want to sound professional, or I want to sound direct, straight to the point. I don't want to add fluff, right? You can tell it these things, and in fact, if you're not so sure about what your tone is like, let's start there. Take an email that you hand wrote, and it was 100% you, and tell it to analyze your email. Now say, what is my tone? How do I talk? We copy that, we save that, and now we use that next time you want to write an email. Say, I want to write an email to this person, and I want to use, copy, paste, this kind of tone. So you sound a lot like yourself. So again, that goes back into your branding, and hopefully, so far, you're starting to kind of come together in what the target audience is, right? Who you want to talk to and how you want to talk to them, really. Like in my case, I guess an example, when I do use AI, I like to use AI whenever I feel like I'm making an email too long or it's too complex, and I realize maybe I'm kind of overwhelming this person. Well, I know my tone, and I can tell it shorten this, but keep my tone, right? That's how we can actually use it, and these are real ways you can apply AI today, right? All right. So, again, I can't touch on this too much because this is more beginner things, but as Princess mentioned, there may be people in the audience who haven't really used AI that much and missed the beginning, so I'll touch on that a little bit. Obviously, some of the more popular platforms that you can find on your phone right now and download is ChatGPT. There's also a cheaper one also called DeepSeek, which is kind of slowly becoming more popular. It's a Chinese product. And they've found a way to use like a quarter of the budget that ChatGPT, which is owned by a company called OpenAI, they've managed to make it a lot cheaper for people to use. It's just a little bit slower, as everyone says that, that's the reviews on it and stuff like that. There's also, if you notice, slowly more and more companies are adding AI into everything. Like now Google is using something called Gemini. So that's going to start replacing a lot of the smart home stuff and things like that. So again, AI is not going anywhere. But yeah, if you want something that you can use today and sign up for free, you can just go to your Apple Store or the Google Play Store and search ChatGPT. It's going to come up pretty fast. And there's going to be like hundreds of other ones. But for the most part, they're all just copying and putting a new skin on ChatGPT and giving it a different logo. So just use that. Also, I think what's important too is understanding why you would need to use AI, right? Not all of us have access to a social media manager or an admin assistant or executive assistant or a web designer. So I understand why that seems like a solution and why that would be something that you would love to use, because it's going to save you some time and money. But again, the reason why I'm talking today is to talk about the advanced side of things, your branding and your target audience. So I'm always going to go back to that. So now that you know that your target audience is important and your branding is important, I would like to ask somebody in the room if I can maybe help them figure some of that out right now. So Princess, if you have the other microphone, or somebody has the other microphone, please give it to them so that maybe I can answer some questions on how to get that going.
Right here.
Go ahead, sir. I got microphone right here.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit and hold you.
So
Question.
I'm looking to get more clients. I want clients who know what they're doing, know where they're going, know what they want, and I'd rather get large groups or else people going all-inclusive.
What's the number one question you get asked every time someone gets on the phone with you?
What's your favorite place to go? That's
Do
what,
you have an answer to that?
and you can't give an answer to that because every place is different. It's a question that can't be given a decent answer because what I find might enjoy doesn't necessarily apply to what they want. If I like New York City and they don't like the city, that's not going to work for them.
So what you're saying is a lot of your customers are indecisive.
So that's why I said I want people who have an idea of where they want to go. That's why I said that. I want them to have an idea of where they want to go.
I got a solution for you. Create a quiz where they ask a couple of questions and at the end they get an answer to tell them where to go.
Okay.
Yeah, and that will be a lead qualifying form. You tell them at the end, in order to get your results on the perfect place for your next destination, type in your email and phone number, or just email and name. And there's your lead. You can follow up with them later. But definitely, if that's a bottleneck, actually, that's kind of a business problem too. That's more of a sales problem. But if you're getting a lot of people asking you, like you're already getting a flow of people coming to you, and you feel like you're on the phone with them just playing like a consultant,
Well,
that's something to look into.
My first issue is I need to get more traffic to me, but yes.
Okay. Now, question: the current people that you work with right now, is there a referral system? Is there a reason for if I hire you today, how do you motivate me to tell my friend?
Well, not always, but I try to on occasion when I have groups or planned trips.
Okay.
I say that if you are going on the trip and you refer someone, I'll usually give like a $25 referral fee to someone who refers me on a planned trip. But if it's not a planned trip, I don't have that out there at all times.
Okay, so right now you're having a problem just getting leads and stuff
Yes.
in general. Okay, what I'd recommend doing is creating, if you're going to use the digital space, you can start putting out information like blog content, video. You can literally tell people about a previous experience one of your customers went through and what it was like, and that you set it up for them. So what you need to do is put out kind of like success stories of the customers that you've worked with so far. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, well, case studies would be in marketing, but in this case, like testimonials and examples, yes. So I would definitely start there. But again, if you're going to use AI, tell it what you're trying to do. All right, tell it about your current customers and how you're a little bit different than everybody else. So we really have to, again, on the advanced side of the AI things, if you don't have your target audience nailed down and branding, you're not going to get good answers. And yes, and then the people who are using these generic answers are already using it, and they already beat you to it by months ago, years ago. So you can't use you don't want to do it, you don't want to
Right.
go that way. You want to
Obviously.
definitely be like more niche about it. But for sure though, I think if you've already had customers, you can just take their examples, like you said, examples of what their trip was like and how happy they were. And you never know. There's going to be people who are going to see that and they're going to be like, oh, that sounds like something I would enjoy too. It sounds like something my wife would enjoy, my partner. So that's what I would do. Show the success stories. Shows that, no different than how we all get reviews on certain sites, right? Build that trust, build that reputation, and that authority on that you know how to do this. You know how to successfully plan something. Anyone else have a question? Yeah.
I know that I need to get better with my marketing. I have a hard time keeping up with local activity and daily activity, and I want to expand my marketing, like how I can reach out to more people on, as far as social media and being able to let people know what all I offer as far as, because I have no limits to diet restrictions. I make everything from vegan to international, gluten-free, everything. But a lot of people, because I do a lot of pop-ups, I don't bring everything, because everything won't sell. So you pick a little bit of what, the majority will go for. But I want everyone to know what's available and how I can, kind of reach out to.
You don't have a marketing problem. You have a time problem. You have a time problem. You don't have the time to do it. It sounds like you're just not. Would you say that you're doing stuff and it's not working, or you're not executing at all?
Well, I would say a little bit of both. I am, when I market when I have time. Like after this event, I'll post pictures, Instagram, Facebook, etc. But then this stops. And like I have a lot of little jobs, that I'm doing in between, or private clients, but I'm not just posting. Like I'm not putting myself out there.
Do you have any help? Somebody who could catch you in the moment, catch you in the act? Because honestly, some of the best marketing is capturing feelings.
Yeah.
It's capturing feelings. If people are eating, having a good time, saying it's really good. If you see people are laughing, enjoying themselves, that's live content. Yeah. People, they have to feel something. So what's probably happening is that you're taking a picture of the food. You're taking a picture just like you from your perspective, but you're also probably the business. You probably don't give yourself enough credit that people like you and they buy from you.
Yeah.
So the food is half of it, but also there's no brand behind it. There's no life behind it.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend setting some time to actually blocking out time, like, okay, at this time I'm going to do something. I'm going to take a video, or I'm going to talk to somebody when I see where the food are. But yeah, it sounds like it's a time thing.
Okay.
Yeah, if your food sells on its own,
It does.
and it tastes good, then that means it has nothing to do with the food, it has nothing to do with you not being a great personality. It's probably just time. It's just having the time to do it. But yeah, I've also had other situations too where I have clients who we get them a lot of leads, but they don't have enough time to follow up. So then it's our fault somehow.
Yeah.
Get a realtor 50 leads to sell a house, multi-million-dollar house, but they don't follow up on the lead. Now it's no longer, now that's sales, right? So yeah, so in your case, it's a time problem though, but I'm pretty sure if you just create some time to block out and just really tell yourself, I have to do this, right? You'll be able to start doing your marketing. So it's execution. So yeah, so you know what? I wouldn't even beat yourself up about it because you haven't yet given a full try to even analyze it, see if it's something wrong. Because I've seen that too, where some people are like, all I did was just start being consistent and posting one time a day, and my following's growing.
Yeah.
That was it. It was just I was too busy in emails and running around,
Yeah, because I feel like I have more followers in person, like people, word of mouth, people, I'll do an event and I'll get 2 to 3 people to call, and then I'll get 4 events from there. But social media wise, no. It's not growing as fast social media wise as it is in live person.
Yeah, I think things will get better as soon as you stop having to go from driver to passenger to back seat to driver again. It'll be a lot easier.
I got you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question about marketing? Anything about branding or target audience? Or would you guys like to add something? You're in marketing too. Welcome to add
I
something.
do event production.
Okay.
My SEO sucks.
That's a heavy one. We wouldn't get that done in time.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'll go. If you guys don't have a question back there that I can answer or provide you a solution, let me know. I've done this a lot. All right. So there's no other questions. All right. I just want to recap what we talked about today, and I'll get to wrapping up here. But basically, again, if you're using AI in the sense that you're just asking it for something, but not telling it anything first, you're going to get generic answers. You're never going to rank. Your content's always going to suck. No one's going to hear you because you sound like everybody else. And also, you've lost time, because I can only remember the countless times where I didn't realize what I was doing wrong with AI yet. And again, I'm not the AI expert. I'm a marketing expert. AI just happens to save me some time. But it took me countless tries before I realized there was times where I wouldn't take this approach, and I would rewrite the same email. I would keep refining it, and I'm like, I've been writing this email for 10 minutes. I should have just wrote it myself, because it doesn't sound right. So that's something right away that I learned, is like, unless I'm actually approaching it, and we call it giving it a persona, telling it how to act, telling it how to talk, telling it about you, telling it about your business, it's not going to help you. You're definitely going to waste time, or you're gonna try it and you're gonna build all this marketing strategy and it's not gonna land. People are just not gonna care. So yeah, so that's my advice to anybody, is first understanding your brand and understanding your audience. And if you guys want to talk to me afterwards, whatever, or get information, there's
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Which apps do you use for creating like invitations and flyers and promotional material?
So
Which AI apps?
So believe it or not, this is actually kind of interesting. We don't really do it like that. We still use Canva and tools like that to design, but because the AI with design is not that great yet. I mean, we've had our graphic designer try quite a bit, try different tools, and he's like, yeah, you can't sell this. You know, it's obvious. But what's cool is that ChatGPT does have a plugin, the main AI, into Canva, so you can tell it to use Canva to design something, but a lot of times you're still going to have to edit it. You're still going to have to edit it. And then also maintain the quality control. People will use AI and not double check it and then publish it, and it's the wrong time for your flyer or the wrong email or wrong address, because there's actually something that I can't get into details about that now, it's too long. There's actually something called AI hallucinations. But yeah, that's kind of that's some other stuff. Yes, you have a question?
Yes, if you wanted to write poetry.
Yes.
If you wanted to write poetry with AI, who takes ownership?
Technically, I'll take the mic right there. So.
Thank you so much.
If you want to write poetry with AI, who take ownership?
So technically, and this is a kind of a hard topic because there's a lot of gray area. Obviously, big corporations have to win. They're not going to lose. So just keep that in mind, right? But technically, if you publish it first on the internet and no one else has it, all the SEO and ranking stuff goes back to you. The only problem is, I think that people don't realize, every time you give AI information or you give it inspiration, whatever, you're making it better. So that means your poetry might be referenced or something similar when someone else asks it to make poetry for them too. So just keep that in mind. But again, these are I'm not going to speak about the legal things about it, right? Because I don't work for them. Go ahead.
Okay. Now let's say that is the case, right? And
Go ahead. You got a mic?
When I write some of my verses, some of my raps, I would like to use AI to like kind of like do that because like my writing is like I'm a good writer, but I like use run-ons. So that's why I have to turn my writing into like raps. So sometimes, you know, AI have like different like there are some like AI software with like lyrics. Strictly for artists who, you know, who have writer's block. But there is like a huge debate on like now, I think, who said I read, so I didn't read the full story, but Congress down there at the music copyright, they just passed like some kind of Congress statute or law about AI being used in music. Because it's like a huge debate, like, you know, because some music is not, if you use AI, you know, totally use AI in like some of your music, you have to like really tell them, explain that to them, and sometimes it won't be accepted. You know what I mean? But what I do, I like still, you know, write my lyrics, freestyle, or whatever ideas I come up with. But sometimes I go to AI to kind of like, you know, revise it, to like, you know, hook it up a little bit.
Can I add something? So actually, I think everyone loves AI until AI steals from you. So you're gonna, if let's say you made a hit record or something like that, made a lot of money, stuff like that, and then somebody pumped your song into AI and made a bigger record than you, and you didn't make any money. You were like, wait a minute, that sounds like my song. I'm like, well, it's not, because AI made a whole new version of it. So that's when it's a problem. Same thing with artwork. A lot of artists are actually really pissed off when they think about that, when they see something out there that looks like something they published back in 2016 or 2015 or in high school, and they're like, that looks a lot like what I made. But because AI took it and just put a little spin on it, it's technically different.
But it's like kind of when you do research, you know, you find like different like resources to like reference in your paper.
Yeah,
You
true.
know, even times I done wrote papers in college. You know, I used to have to like Google, you know, or go to the college library to find, and some of my references came from papers, you know, that other students or professors or somebody doing a dissertation wrote.
I have a question for you.
But I had the references also, like just getting like certain sources, you know what I mean, from like different papers or, you know, from college students.
So this is the last question for this, because I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just like to throw these questions out there for you to think about.
Yeah.
But anyways, if a company hired you one time, they're like, okay, we only need you one time. Come to the studio. You're just gonna say a couple words, and we're gonna duplicate your voice, and then we'll just write you a check one time. You can go home. We don't need you anymore. We'll just make all your music with the voice that we cloned of you.
Right.
So would you be okay with that?
Just to use my voice?
Just to use your voice. We don't need you anymore. We just talking to the mic, say a couple words, and then we'll write your check and go home and never have to see you again. But we get to use your voice as many times as we want.
Nah, I wouldn't be okay with that because it's like how I'm gonna get the royalties. But I'm just thinking
you can
from
get the
a
royalties, but I'm pretty sure.
But I'm
sure the song will outlive you, though.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Right, because you gotta.
You can't get royalties anymore when you're gone.
Right, because I mean copyright. You got up to like 70. That stands for like 70 years. You know, once you get something copyrighted, it's yours for 70 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What was your question? Give her. She's got the mic.
So picking off of her, the copyright, what if, right, you put your poetry in there, you get your version, and you get it back, and you go copyright? Then ownership is...
Copyrights are interesting because me and you can have the same logo idea, but I filed it first.
So it's first, second?
I filed it first, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but then again, like, you know, it's... The scary thing is, I guess, is that... I don't want two mics to get too close to each other. I think the scary thing is that again, like, you know, people won't need you, I guess, like just pay you off one time, and, you know, that's it. And then also, like, again, like, how does the individual feel ownership over it? Like, do I really feel like I deserve it? Like, am I that creative? Or I just had a better prompt than you? You might be talented, but maybe I'm really good at making these prompts, and I write a better song than you over a prompt. No talent. You know, so there's that too. It's like, it's one of those things, I don't know, for some people it's good, for some people it's bad.
But you ever heard of Grammarly? I mean, to me, that's what AI is. It's kind of like Grammarly. I mean, it's different.
Yeah. No, I know, yeah. Some people talk way more professional in their emails, and when you meet them in person, you're like, you don't even know how to use those big words, you know? It's pretty bad. But anyways, I know we have to wrap up here. But anyways, my name is Romeo Pot. Thank you everyone for coming out. And again, thank you for Princess for inviting me. I do marketing, right, for all different kinds of spectrums. But anyways, hopefully this workbook and the sheet that I gave you today is something you can go home and use today. I want you to have something to go home and use today. All right, guys, thank you.
Hey, real quick, I have a real quick something I want to share with you. I remember when AI was first introduced. Don't record this, right? So
she's recording.
So what happened was